has fared well in these situations. 378 in the WBC. 2 for 6 the other night against the Dominican Republic. The energy in the seats has been up from the first pitch tonight, as we expected it would be. Such a terrific athlete. Mentioned that he's a shortstop in his day job, if you will, with the Houston Astros. He only took about 10 ground balls at third base as he was gearing up to play the hot corner for Team Puerto Rico. Their GM Alex Cora saw it and said, yeah, he's good. He's good to go. Through the right side for a base hit. Pagan gets the green light. Throw home, and Puerto Rico is on the board. 1-0. Third on the RBI single was Lindor.
Well, nothing Marcus Stroman can do about this. He wanted to pitch outside, but Correa just took an inside pitch, fisted it the other way. Good piece of hitting there. And aggressive base running gets Lindor to third. Puerto Rico on the board with runners up the corners and nobody out. If you missed the first game by Team Puerto Rico, one of their trademarks for bonding as a team is they all have the bleach blonde hair.
And they are all buying in. I think they were even trying to convince their manager, Edwin Rodriguez. The only problem is, and I say this as someone who's also suffering from the issue, he doesn't have much up there to dye, really. But we move along. Neither does Carlos Beltran, so he dyed the beard, and then he launched center field, and the hits just keep on coming for Puerto Rico. It's 2-0.
All good at bats, all well placed. Good job by Puerto Rico, not trying to do it. There's no bail and wail and trying to hit it out of the ballpark. They're just making contact and getting rewarded for it, and the streak is broken. USA starters coming into this game 17 in the third innings without giving up an earned run. Stroman looking for the first out.
2 for 11 in his career against Marcus Stroman. That's at the big league level. But 1 for 1 here tonight, the WBC, and now Yadier Molina. Swing and a miss. There's Jim Leyland, manager for Team USA, 22 seasons as a big league skipper and 15th on the all-time wins list.
Yeah, and the last thing Jim Leyland wants to do is get up a pitcher in the first inning and have to lift Stroman. You know, combination of how well they have pitched, and also these guys are here to get themselves in shape for the regular seasons. And he's capable of going 80 pitches. The hitters have a lot to do with whether that'll happen.
Early action. Pitches into this one as Jake McGee begins to loosen for Team USA. 2 on and nobody out. 2 runs already home. Ball 1 to Yadier Molina. And Puerto Rico, we showed you their runners in scoring position numbers. That is now up to 410. And just overall, their batting average is the best. WB, obviously the best in this pool as well. 4 straight singles to start things here tonight. The 1-2.
And the guy in the batter's box might be as good as any of them at taking the ball the other way. What's really made Yadier Molina a threat with the bat, we always knew he was a great catcher, is his ability to take the ball the other way with men on base, and very productive.
to Yadier Molina. Shoots that one back into the netting and stays 2-2. Obviously, starting pitchers, they want to set the tone early. And last year, Marcus Stroman did just that. His lowest ERA per inning was in the first, pitching to a 2.81 ERA. Just 10 first-inning earned runs all season for Marcus Stroman. 2 already home here in the first tonight. Again, the 2-2. And into right field. That is down for a base hit. Here comes the throw from right. It's off the mark. Correa scores, and it's 3-0 Puerto Rico. 5 straight singles.
Yadier Molina, that's where his big improvement has been as a hitter. Pretty good breaking ball, outside part of the plate, takes it to right field, throw off line. Don't think they'd have had him anyway. And it's frustrating for a pitcher. You think, well, I've got pretty good stuff. I'm making decent pitches. They just keep making contact and finding the hole. Stroman looking for that ground ball to try to get him out of trouble.
Pagan, Lindor, Correa, Beltran, Molina, all singles in the first 20 pitches for Marcus Stroman. And now it's Javier Baez. They've hit him hard. They haven't found any gaps, but I'm sure that they'll take it. A 3-spot in the first inning when runs have been pretty hard to come by here in San Diego. 5 for 17 in the WBC. For Javier Baez.
Well, if he gets a single, it won't be because he's swinging for a single.
No.
He is the one hitter in their lineup that just lets it all go. Every swing is a full-out home run type swing.
To Baez, broken bat, floated, that will fall into left center field. Being held at third is Carlos Beltran.
That tough call right here for Jim Leyland. I mean, that wasn't a bad pitch. Big swing by Baez. You see the swing snapped his bat in half and moved it just over Brendan Crawford's head. Just keep on coming. Below the trademark. And still got a base hit.
Stroman made 32 starts last year, pitched to a 4.37 ERA. And he has still not recorded an out in this ballgame. 6 consecutive singles. Now Eddie Rosario, who is 6 for 11 with 3 RBIs in this WBC. Played a big role the other night in right field. A 9-2 put out to keep the Dominican Republic off the board. Swung on toward left center. This will be the inning's first out, but it will be a productive one. As a run scores on the sacrifice fly, and now Molina overslid the bag. Arenado kept the tag on him. And Team USA gets the double play, but Puerto Rico still pushes across another run.
Yeah, and that's a big break for Team USA because really this throw should go to second base, keep the double play in order. It came into third, and Molina in there easily, but then he comes off the bag, and Arenado very alertly kept the tag on to steal the out. That really the throw, if it goes into second, should have gone into second, keep the double play in order, but USA got rewarded for doing the wrong thing.
But the sac fly gives Puerto Rico a 4-0 lead. Here is TJ Rivera. For the third, with the runner on the move, and in there safely is Javier Baez. an aggressive first inning.
Now, normally, if you're going to steal third base with 2 out, you want to make it standing up. He did get in well ahead of the throw. I mean, there is several different ways to score from third base with 2 out, but most of the time the percentages are you stay at second with 2 out and let the hitter try to knock you in. Not a good percentage, but it paid off for them.
Rivera, a 28-year-old infielder in the New York Mets organization in his first WBC. Just 1 hit in 10 trips. He's been seeing a lot of first base for Team Puerto Rico. In the air to right field, hit well. It sends McCutchen back a few steps in front of the track, and he puts it away for out number 3. But the damage done, USA. What did you see in that first inning for Marcus Stroman?
I saw the Puerto Rican hitters not trying to do too much with it, just putting the ball in play. So you could say it's not good pitching, but I think you have to give credit to the hitters as well. You know, they just put it in play. Very frustrating for a starting pitcher. Now, from Lugo's standpoint, this might be as key an inning as he'll have tonight. You say, why? It's only the second inning. But you're facing some good hitters. The best pitcher I've ever seen in the big leagues in my era covering games is David Wells, Boomer, who when he had a big lead would pitch the same. But they call this the shutdown inning, where you got a 4-0 lead. You say, do I get a little too careful? And it's the guys that can keep on challenging hitters and throwing strikes.
Well, Lugo certainly did do that in the first inning. He threw strikes. 9 pitches total, 6 for strikes. And now with that lead, we'll see how he attacks Nolan Arenado, who decides better than chasing that one. Arenado is a guy who can and does carry the Colorado Rockies offense a great deal throughout the summer. But he's had a tough time getting things going. Just 1 for 15 so far with 2 runs scored. He does have a home run and 3 RBIs. But 1 for 15. Ripped to left field. That is down for a base hit, and it goes to the wall. Arenado chugging towards second. And he's in there with a leadoff double.
So maybe the hitters are saying, hey, we've had enough of this pitching dominance. And USA said, let's see if we got an answer for Seth Lugo in Puerto Rico. Arenado has actually hit the ball quite sharply in the WBC. Not much to show for it, but he gets a double there.
And now Eric Hosmer, the first baseman of the Kansas City Royals. 5 for 14 with a home run and 4 RBIs, and it was that 2-run home run in the 8th inning the other night that helped give Team USA a 4-2 lead. And now Hosmer scorches one through the middle. Arenado gets waved around. Yeah, we don't have a shortage of offense tonight. It's 4-1 in the second.
Out of Puerto Rico's book. Not barreled up, but hit in a good spot by Eric Hosmer. And Arenado can score easily. Willie Randolph waves him home.
And now Buster Posey. 29-year-old Francisco Giants, and as I said before, arguably one of the most decorated players for Team USA, if not all the players in this tournament. A 3-time World Series champ with the Giants, a Rookie of the Year, an NL MVP. And he won his first Gold Glove in 2016. Eric Hosmer with the RBI single off of first. Posey takes ball 2. It felt like a pot of boiling water with the lid on these first 3 days at Petco Park. Where you know that these offenses are just loaded with talent, with all-stars, with guys who have won home run titles, 30 home run seasons. And yet here we were. I mean, guys like that can't even crack the lineup. They're so deep. Paul Goldschmidt and Giancarlo Stanton. But we've seen scores of 3-1, 4-2, 3-0.
All right, here's the first of many. As great a catcher as Yadier Molina is, he is known for his trips to the mound. Evidently, some words for Lugo right now. And that's what a pitcher goes through. You know, you get 4 rounds early, you say, oh, that's comfortable, but there is a different mindset for pitching. Don't want to walk anybody, and yet you can't just pitch like you're pitching batting practice.
Three and 1 with Hosmer off of first, and Posey draws the walk.
With a long look at Will Little, but again, Yadier tried to tug that in. That was well outside the strike zone.
And I'd love to get this kitty as someone who pitched 25 years in the major leagues. There's going to be nights when you're a guy like Seth Lugo and you get big time run support early in the ball game, and it's the middle of June and the other offense. Hard to come back tonight because there's another game tomorrow. We've got another 100 left on the schedule. There's an immediacy in this tournament where 4 in the first against offenses is nothing.
Yeah, that's a little different story because it's like you're pitching in an all-star game. There's the Lugo curveball. The best spin on his curve in the major leagues, in for a knee-high strike.
Dan, just 4 at-bats in this WBC. He struck out twice. But Murphy is a 31-year-old second baseman of the Nationals. He homered in a Major League record 6 straight postseason games. From Game 4 of the 2015 NLDS through Game 4 of the NLCS. And boy, did off of some brand-name pitchers.
Murphy would like to have that one back. That was a pitch inside where a left-hand hitter can pull the ball, but Lugo had a little late movement on it, caught the inside corner.
Arenado led off the inning with a double. He came around to score on the Hosmer single, and then after that was the Buster Posey walk. So 2 runners aboard and nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Paul Severino, are you glad you're with us as this is the 4th game here in round 2. 2 teams await the championship round in Los Angeles next week as Japan and the Kingdom of the Netherlands have advanced out of Tokyo. They're working out in Arizona now, waiting for 2 teams to advance from San Diego to LA. Murphy taps one back to Lugo, who throws get 1 out at first.
Boy, what a great job at second base of hanging in there on this throw. The runner barreling right down on him. Had to reach for it. Watch the reach, then he's got to put enough on the ball and get out of the way of the slide. Lindor with a great throw to first base just to nab Murphy.
And while it was a close play at first, it bears repeating that instant replay is in use in the first and the second round of the World Baseball Classic, but only on home runs, whether they go over the wall or if they are fair or foul. Instant replay will expand once we get to Los Angeles. Brendan Crawford chops one to the right side. Baez, the first, inning over. Team USA gets on the board, but a big double play. Starters have been the story for Team USA. Although tonight, it's a story, just not the way that they would like it to go. Missing low and in.
Yeah, a little chance for a reboot for Marcus Stroman, and thanks to Yadier Molina taking his foot off the bag at third, that was what enabled him to get out of that first inning, stay in the game.
And now you wonder what the mindset is for Marcus Stroman, because well, in a regular season game in the middle of June or July, he's got all kinds of pitches to work with. And, you know, maybe he's able to settle down and work as long as he needs. But here he knows he's only got 50 more pitches as the strikeout there for out number one. But he's only got to go to 80 pitches for the pitch limit and the immediacy of the game. As we take a look at the defense behind top of the order, the guy who got it all started for Puerto Rico, Angel Pagan.
And Paul, just to comment on your assessment of Stroman, he's not concerned about the 80 pitches. There's nothing he can do about that. But I think he feels pretty comfortable that he got out of that first inning. It wasn't like they ripped the ball in the gaps. And you notice here in the second inning, he's coming right back at him aggressively with his good stuff.
Routine play to second. Harrison to Hosmer.
I think as a starting pitcher, you're saying, well, that was my bad inning. I mean, they hit it in the right spot, give them credit, but that's over with. Of course, there have been a lot of great pitchers, Hall of Fame pitchers in the major leagues over the years that the saying in the dugout is, get them early or you don't get them. Scuffle a little bit in the first inning, whether it be Bob Gibson or Tom Seaver or Marcus Stroman.
Well, they got him early, all right. The first 6 men to the plate all reached on 6 consecutive singles. Francisco Lindor had a base hit in the first and came around to score a run. "27 pitches, 19 strikes for Marcus Stroman." Prior to going 1-0 on Francisco Lindor, here's a little fun with numbers for you. 9 straight first pitch strikes. The only problem is some of those strikes were hit into play. Hard hit, but it's Hosmer. And Stroman bounces back nicely in the second. A 1-2-3 frame worth reaching. How has Puerto Rico done it? Offensively and on the mound. Josh Harrison takes the breaking ball low and away. A ball and a strike to the number 9 hitter and second baseman Josh Harrison. Andrew McCutchen and Adam Jones to follow. Against Seth Lugo, his 30th pitch of the night. A breaking ball that misses upstairs. 2-1. Harrison, a terrific player with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but such a deep lineup for Team USA. He's had a tough time getting in there. Flies out to left center field for out number 1 here in the third. And that is, all of the managers are dealing with that. They all have, especially when we get to this point, and certainly when we get to Los Angeles as well. But this bracket specifically, this 4-team bunch specifically, these teams are truly loaded top to bottom. I mean, I can't imagine outside of an injury 2 nights for the Miami Marlins where Giancarlo Stanton hasn't gotten in the lineup. Yeah. And we haven't seen him yet here in San Diego.
Yeah, no disrespect for Japan and the Netherlands who are already there. But you're right, when you look at the lineups coming out of this bracket, there's nothing managers can do about it. They're thrilled that all these fellas want to play. But the challenge is to get them enough playing time.
McCutchen scorches one to left field with a couple of steps over, and Angel Pagan puts it away for out number 2. Again, the standings, the two teams that are waiting. Turns out they are waiting in Arizona as they are here in the United States, but adjusting to the time. Japan and the Kingdom of the Netherlands, congratulations to them as they each advanced from that second round in Tokyo, and they await to see who is going to survive this 4-team killer bracket here in San Diego. We talked to Tony Pena, the manager of the Dominican Republic, a couple of days ago, and he said, we're calling this the group of death. It's usually what you hear around World Cup time. But boy, is that true. Adam Jones, a big swing and a miss, 0-1.
Well, Lugo's doing what you like to see a pitcher do with a lead. He's going to try to make Team USA earn it. Challenging him with strikes early in the count.
You might be asking, here's another look at that breaking ball.
That's not the real big over the top. That was more of a slider type breaking ball. Got that great curveball from 12 to 6.
You might be asking yourself, how is Seth Lugo on Team Puerto Rico? Jim mentioned before he's from Louisiana. Well, his grandfather was born in Puerto Rico and was a member of the U.S. Air Force and then later relocated to Louisiana. So that's how he made it to Team Puerto Rico, and believe me, they are happy to have him. After his outing the first time around, this one so far tonight, they have broken the bat of Adam Jones softly into the glove of Francisco Lindor. A 1-2-3 third will see Carlos Correa, and that big swing come to the plate here in San Diego when we come back. Of semifinal number 1 Monday at Dodger Stadium. Carlos Correa, Carlos Beltran, and Yadier Molina 3, 4, and 5 to up for Team Puerto Rico. Again, a lead for them. 6 hits to begin the night against Marcus Stroman, who delivers an 0-1. Ball and no strikes. Again, so many different combinations. We'll try our best to simplify it for you. For Puerto Rico, if they win tonight, 1, they eliminate. 2, they win the pool. That's with a win tonight. And then that set up tomorrow night, the nightcap of the doubleheader, which would be Team USA against the Dominican Republic, which, again, was scheduled that way. And it just so happens it could be the de facto tiebreaker if Puerto Rico wins this. Marcus Stroman threw 27 pitches in the first inning, 4 runs on 6 hits. This will be pitch number 41, a 3-1 to Carlos Correa. Follows that one straight back.
You mentioned those situations, who's eliminated, who's going to win. That would make that noon game tomorrow very difficult for Venezuela, knowing that they're out, and yet they have to play Puerto Rico. Get their work in, since a lot of them are heading to spring training, but, you know, they want to be competitive, trying to win the game as well.
Yeah, not only that, but Venezuela's really been banged up. So they have dealt with their injuries for sure, as Carlos Correa works the leadoff walk.
That's the first walk issued by a Team USA starting pitcher.
And now Carlos Beltran, who had an RBI single in the first. Terrific numbers for this seasoned veteran. 39-year-old outfielder with the Houston Astros, back with Houston, and his teammate over there at first, Carlos Correa. 4th WBC for Beltran. All-time leader in extra base hits and RBIs among Puerto Rican-born players. Swears to bunt.
How about that? Good to see. You know, you got a full You want to pick up, as they say in the dugout, let's keep tacking on runs. They're playing the shift way around. They're giving you the third base line. He said, let me drop one down there.
The only one on the left side of the infield is the shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Nolan Arenado playing just to the right of Eric Hosmer.
Tried it again. Well, Carlos Beltran's coming out in Major League Baseball was with these Astros in postseason play. Rookie of the Year with the Kansas City Royals, but really became a power hitter in those years when the Astros were going to postseason play.
Beltran, and he's good no matter what time of year it is. He has been for so long. But among the 149 players who have had at least 150 plate appearances in the postseason, his on-base plus slugging of over 1,000 is behind only Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth.
That's nice company.
Yeah, I'd say so. I've heard of those two. Put it that way. 1-2 pitches, low, 2-2. Yeah, that's rarefied air, and it's going to make for an interesting debate. Although for me, and I do not have a Hall of Fame vote, but it's going to make for an interesting debate once 5 years pass after he finishes playing. And for me, it'll just be how quick he gets elected to Cooperstown. One of the best switch hitters this game has ever seen as they keep a close eye on Carlos Correa.
Yeah, that will be an interesting debate because you have to go era by era. It's much more of a hitter's era in recent years. And of course, I think of the great Larry Walker, who played for Team Canada in the WBC, who gets passed over quite easily.
Strikes and takes a little off. Actually, that's 93 miles an hour. He just whiffed on it.
Well, we mentioned the spin doctor, and he doesn't do it with overpowering stuff, but he does it with movement like that. You get hitters out with raw stuff. If you're just a Clayton Kershaw, pure power pitcher, you get him out with location, or change of speeds, or control, or motion. Stroman has a little of each.
Yadier Molina had an RBI single in the first. It was the 5th of 6 consecutive singles for Puerto Rico in that first inning. 4th WBC for Yadier Molina. His overall numbers, the home runs, the RBIs down a little bit for the St. Louis Cardinals in 2016. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second is not in time. It's a stolen base for Carlos Correa. His second steal in the WBC.
Good job by Correa. And Buster Posey had to backhand the ball. Was down in the dirt, then come up and release it as quickly as possible. Crawford tried to make the sweep tag. Couldn't quite get a handle on the ball.
Brandon Crawford. They're all doing it.
Yeah.
Even if they need a little assistance, they're all going with that blonde up top to support the team that still hasn't lost in this World Baseball Classic. The 0-1. Chop. Stroman comes up empty. And now throwing behind Correa. Caught in a rundown and tagged out by Crawford. Throw to second, and it goes off of Molina.
Wow, hot potato.
Jeez.
That's 2 base running miscues by Team Puerto Rico. They could have probably a 6-1 lead. Stroman backhand, can't handle it. And then Correa You know, he certainly shouldn't be rounding third base that quickly until he locates the ball. Then Crawford alertly tries to toss it to second. And had Harris had been able to field that short hop, that would have been a very unique double play. But I think Team USA very happy to at least get Correa out rounding third base.
Well, it'll go down as an error on Stroman, but they do get an out on the 1-6 putout. Now 2 away for Javier Baez. Single to stolen base back in the first, and that one misses.
Yeah, those are 2 plays in the first couple innings here that if Team Puerto Rico does not win this game, they're going to look back at a couple of base running miscues and say we should have had a 6-1 lead at least. Stroman had thrown so many first pitch strikes. And now suddenly, see a deep breath right there. He doesn't have the same command of the strike zone he had the first 2 innings, even though he gave up 4 runs in the first.
Stroman, the 22nd overall pick in 2012 out of Duke. He was actually the first player ever selected in the first round out of Duke University. Mentioned that knee injury earlier in this game. He finished his degree while rehabbing from that injury in 2015. Tore the ACL in spring and was back, won all 4 of his regular season starts and went 1-0 in 3 postseason starts. 2-1 to Baez. Shot to short. Crawford hitting over. A runner left stranded. We're through 3. A 4-1 lead for Puerto Rico. Trailing 4-1. Yelich grounded back to Lugo in the first. Ended a 1-2-3 inning. A crisp 1-2-3 inning on just 9 pitches. Now Yelich out to Began in left, and there's 1 away.
Yelich, one of several Team USA members coming home to play. Southern California, we mentioned Adam Jones right here in San Diego. Nolan Arenado, who's stepping in the box right now, another Californian. Giancarlo Stanton.
Yep.
Arenado just the opposite of Seth Lugo. He has I believe, a parent born in Puerto Rico, but opted to play for Team USA.
And they are glad to have him. That much we can report. He said he chose Team USA because it's where he was born and he's never had the chance to represent his country. And whoa, what a grab by Correa at third. Well, if anybody can appreciate great defense at third, it's probably Arenado, but not when he hits one that hard.
Yeah, that's great reaction. Playing almost as deep as if he were at shortstop. Nice reaction by Correa. And if there's one hitter that I've seen here in this pool that has hit the ball hard with very little to show for it, it's Nolan Arenado.
RBI single in the second inning, continued to put up good numbers here at Petco Park. The home run the other night, the All-Star Game MVP last summer. Now he bats here with nobody more than 2 outs in the top of the 4th in a 4-1 ball game. Puerto Rico on top. Seth Lugo delivers pitch number 44. Second, right at him. Baez to Rivera. Inning over. Seth Lugo with a 1. Rosario leads things off. A sac fly in the first inning. Swing that one to begin things here in the bottom of the 4th. After Rosario, T.J. Rivera and Raymond Fuentes. 7, 8, 9 to up for Puerto Rico. for Eddie Rosario. Chops this one to second. It's Harrison. One away.
Talking about Eddie Rosario, I mean, the first inning has been the magic inning for Puerto Rico in the 2 games we've seen. Tonight with the bats, the game against the bases loaded, nobody out. Looked like Puerto Rico was on the verge of getting blown out. And Eddie Rosario with this laser to Javier Molina, who makes a great sweep tag, and just like that, bases loaded, nobody out. They escape without giving up a run and go on to win the game.
And now line on a short hop. Crawford 2 away.
Nice play, well judged. With Omar Vizquel, the Venezuelan manager, about the importance of footwork. And I know he's been an all-star. Watch right there. He waits, see him spread his feet, get his feet apart, go right down with the ball. As infielders would say, 9 out of 10 go under. So 3 things you want to get down: your head, your trunk, and your glove. Doesn't get a lot of national exposure. This guy's one of the best.
Oh, Jim Leland loves him. Said he's been watching this guy for a long time. He's one of his favorite players. He, of course, made sure, knowing that it's a star-studded clubhouse that he's managing, he made sure to. I like a lot of players, but I really like Crawford. And 0-1 now to Raymond Fuentes, misses outside. Well, Marcus Stroman has certainly settled down a bit. The first 6 batters, 6 for 6 with 6 singles. Since then, 0 for 10 with a walk. The only problem, you can't take those 4 runs off the board. Chop off the glove, I believe, of Stroman. Harrison fields. And a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Just 6 pitches in the 4th. We're now 0-2. So again, the story with Venezuela is, the simple part of it is, at least, Puerto Rico with a win tonight eliminates Venezuela. Puerto Rico also wins the pool. Buster Posey wide of the third base bag.
And by winning the pool, they would play Kingdom of the Netherlands. And you talk about some big league star infielders on display. The Netherlands has 4 infielders that they play at different positions. You got Didi Gregorius, Andrelton Simmons, Xander Bozart, Jurickson Profar.
Yep. Jonathan Scope over at second base.
Jonathan Scope, forgot about him. Tons of stars.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that. If you took Puerto Rico and the Kingdom of the Netherlands, you might have about 2/3 of the major league shortstops on those 2 rosters. That's just how it seems.
And the interesting thing with that statement is, for years, the Dominican Republic was sort of known as the shortstop factory. San Pedro de Macorís, starting with Tony Fernandez.
A 1-2 on the way from Lugo to Buster Posey. Left center field, looking up, and it is gone!
But it wasn't down. It was above the belt. Buster, I think, knew as soon as he made contact, even in the cool, damp air in San Diego, that was gone.
Second home run of the tournament for Buster Posey, and now Daniel Murphy takes a breaking ball in there for a called strike.
And I think right now, manager Edwin Rodriguez has a very uncomfortable feeling. You know, he's saying we should be up about 6-1, now 6-2. And against this kind of lineup, you make a couple of mistakes early like that, left him back in the game, it's really given them hope. And of course, Stroman, after that first inning, has just been fantastic, throwing nothing but strikes and keeping it a 4-2 game. Up, bell tied. Buster got the arms extended. Great swing. You almost see an you can feel when you hit a baseball in the middle of the barrel, it gives a little in that sweet spot.
Murphy with a little bit of a shift on still finds Carlos Correa on the left side, and there is one away. Buster Posey's solo home run off of Seth Lugo has closed the gap to now a 2-run deficit for Team USA. As Posey's teammate Brendan Crawford digs in. Crawford grounded to second base to end things in the second. Posey, a superb talent, 5th overall pick by the San Francisco Giants in 2008. They like him so much. He's in the 5th year of a 9-year extension with the club. The 1-0 to Crawford. This will be Lindor. Step onto the outfield grass. 2 away. Giants really have something nice out there in San Francisco. We told you before about how Jim Leyland, who, about as great a baseball mind as there is out there, and to get high praise that he gave to Brendan Crawford, one of his favorite players. We've talked at length about the accolades of Buster Posey. Madison Bumgarner is one of Major League Baseball's most intimidating starting pitchers. There's a reason why that team has won 3 World Series championships since 2010. Josh Harrison off the end of the bat. Shallow right, very shallow right. Javier Baez puts it away for out number 3. But Buster Posey's long solo home run makes this game a little bit more interesting. Angel Pagan takes a called strike 1 from Marcus Stroman, who has been a different pitcher than the first 6 batters. Beginning with Angel Pagan in the first inning, 6 consecutive singles and a 4-run first inning for Puerto Rico. 1, 2, and 3 due up. Pagan, then Lindor and Correa. Mentioned before that Pagan is still a free agent. He's had himself a really nice career. Talking with Edwin Rodriguez before the game, said that Angel Pagan can still help any team with his energy, the ability to play all 3 outfield positions, the experience in the leadoff spot, a little bit of pop in that bat too. A lot of players have and are using this World Baseball Classic as a bit of a showcase for perhaps a job in 2017. But Stroman has showcased the kind of pitcher he has been after those first 6 hitters.
Yeah, there's a fine line between the hitting lanes and the pitching lanes. These pitches are maybe about thigh high, and he gives up 6 hits. And since then, they're 0 for 12. That one's a little bit lower. That one's a little lower on the outside corner. So just a little bit of improvement after those first 6. Great results for Marcus Stroman.
Those 32 pitches and 10 batters entering this inning, but he did retire Angel Pagan for out number 1. And now it's Francisco Lindor, who singled and scored in the first and grounded to Eric Hosmer at first in the second. Lindor was named to his first All-Star team last year, won his first Gold Glove, and finished 9th in the MVP vote. It was a big reason as to why the Cleveland Indians got back to the World Series for the first time in a while, coming oh so close to their first World Series championship in almost 70 years. Instead, it was the Cubs ending their lengthy 108-year drought.
Jake McGee, the lefty. Michael Gibbons, the righty, as I would imagine Stroman, after that 4-run first, has settled down, but probably closing in on his pitch limit.
be his 66th pitch. He threw 64 in that first round game as Lindor skies one toward the left. Yelich with room, 2 away.
Yeah, he's really been efficient despite giving up 4 runs and 6 hits. A lot of first pitch strikes. And you can imagine giving up 6 hits and 4 runs never looks like you're going to get out of the first inning, and all of a sudden you've kept your team in the game and they're within 2. So they got to give the Mighty Might lots of credit for hanging in there and hanging up some zeros.
And now Carlos Correa, who had an RBI single and scored in the first, walked and stole a base in the third. Well, I've talked to enough pitchers, and Kitty, you are certainly one of them, to know that the most important pitch in baseball is strike one. And for Marcus Stroman, it's been 17 of 21 after that strike to Carlos Correa.
And the reason for that is, first of all, if the ball's put in play on the first pitch, usually your percentages are pretty good to get him out. And the other thing it does is it expands the strike zone. You know, the first pitch, the hitter's still, even though this guy's got fastball, curveball, change, but I really don't know what I'm going to get on the first pitch. So that's always an advantage for the pitcher.
The communication between Buster and Stroman. And that one got a piece of Posey.
Let's watch Buster's glove. See, Stroman, first of all, Buster caught Marcus Stroman a great deal. Just warmed him up here in the workouts and stuff. But so he's got in it. You see how Buster went at that ball. He had to try to backhand it almost like a first baseman.
Roughly how long does it take for a catcher to learn a pitcher?
I'd have to ask a catcher that. I mean, I don't know if there's any set period of time. I think Buster's fortunate to be with a guy like Madison Bumgarner for a long period of time. You know, you can sit down and you watch a guy throw on the sidelines, but you really have to catch him in the game, find out what works for him.
Right where Posey asked for it, but just off the outside edge.
Wow. Boy, and he, as you've mentioned several times, the catcher presents the ball. He couldn't have presented that any better to Will Little, just didn't get the call.
2-2, left side. It's Arenado, spins, throws, picked by Hosmer, but it was...
Nice range by Arenado. I don't know, maybe Crawford may have been able to make that play easier, and Hosmer, a Gold Glover, stretches as far as he can, but can't keep his foot on the bag. I think you can see the exchange between Arenado and Crawford right after that is saying, if I let that go, you know, the shortstop coming at the ball instead of running away from it may have been able to make the play. Now they'll go into the exaggerated shift.
Arenado sets up in shallow right against Carlos Beltran. 1 on and 2 out in the bottom. Beltran an RBI single, and he scored a run in the first and struck out in the third. Split time between the Yankees and the Rangers last year, a deadline acquisition that's happened a couple of times throughout his career. As we discussed before, the postseason accolades and successes of Carlos Beltran, the big reason why is now the home plate umpire, Will Little, gets a piece of that foul tip. Correa the runner on first after the infield single. The 1 to Beltran. mentioned before about Carlos Beltran and just how good he's been as a switch hitter in his career, one of the best. And when you are on the list with guys like Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, Chipper Jones, Chipper not yet a Hall of Famer, but in my book, and again, I don't have a vote, but in my book, Chipper will get to Cooperstown eventually. That is a who's who of switch hitters in Major League history.
Ooh. Marcus happy to get by with that one. Stroman. Beltran checked the target. And then the pitch was a little bit above where Buster wanted it. Good swing, foul straight.
Now that's an interesting look. That's the Beltran. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch number 77 coming in just a moment after a check on Correa at first. And as Stroman approaches 80 pitches, I think 6 batters into this game, we didn't think that he'd be anywhere close to 80, but he has certainly settled down. 80 pitches, the 1-game limit in the second round of the WBC. A 2-2 to Beltran. Broken bat, right side, into the shift. No play.
Wow, Arenado, the Team USA, very fortunate that Correa did not realize there was nobody on third base. He could have just kept going, and Arenado, knowing he had no chance at Beltran, that was just placed in a perfect spot. Broken bat. And again with the shift giveth and takes away. Let's see, Arenado said, oh, there's nobody on third. There, if they played in normal position, that would have been an easy ground ball to second base. But a pretty good comeback, a very good comeback after 4-run first by Marcus Stroman.
Did his best to erase it. We'll see if the bullpen can hold it at 4-2. Tried to hold it at a 2-run deficit. 94 miles an hour inside, spins Yadier Molina away.
Former shortstop being in San Diego. There's a connection there. The great Trevor Hoffman, who was a great closer here for the Padres for years, was a college shortstop. I remember doing a college game, University of Arizona, where my former teammate Jerry Kindle was the coach, and I said, who's your shortstop? There's Trevor Hoffman. His brother plays in the big leagues. He said, yeah, but he's going to pitch in the big leagues. And sure enough, a couple years later, there Hoffman was pitching in the big leagues. Givens doing the same thing.
Hoffman inching his way towards Cooperstown as the percentage of his votes go up. This one fouled back and out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Yadier Molina.
Well, it's like the shortstop have great arms. For example, back in the 80s, there's a shortstop named Sean Dunston was drafted ahead of Doc Gooden. And they asked Whitey Herzog why. He said, because he had a better arm than Doc Gooden. So some great shortstops become pitchers.
1-2 is fouled back.
Good swing.
This has been the part of the game where things get a little bit difficult for Jim Leyland. And I can't believe I'm saying this, because when you look at the arms that he's got out in that bullpen, it's shocking to see that in 18 2/3 innings, they've given up 4 home runs with an ERA that's approaching 5. Of course, the 2 runners that are on base belong to Marcus Stroman, but the point is still the same. Out toward right in foul territory, and Eric Hosmer slid hard into that wall. Thankfully, he gets up and looks to be all right. Still 1-2.
Yeah, I'm sure if there's Kansas City executives watching this, they breathe a sigh of relief. That's a dangerous area. Hosmer sensing the wall is there, slides, tries to keep his eye on the ball at the same time. Good effort.
Thankfully, it looks like the padding goes all the way to the dirt over there at foul ground as Jim Leyland is out to talk with the first base umpire, Hunter Wendelstedt.
I don't know if he's arguing for some fan interference. Hunter Wendelstedt explaining it to him. See, the fan reached over right there into the field of play. So in the umpire's estimation, could Hosmer have made that catch? Degree of difficulty would have been pretty high.
Yeah. But no, what I was going to say was thankfully that padding goes all the way down to the dirt. So even though Hosmer went into that wall pretty hard, at least there's some padding there. Sometimes you'll see pads that don't go all the way to the wall, maybe 6 inches or so is exposed concrete. As Molina out toward right center field, Adam Jones tracks it down, and 2 are stranded in the 5th. 4-2, Puerto Rico on top. Andrew McCutchen is in there for a called strike. McCutchen, Jones, and Yelich against Lugo, who is at now 57 pitches. He's given up an RBI single to Eric Hosmer in the 2nd, the solo home run to Buster Posey to lead off the 5th. But working with that 4-2 lead, and this is now the start that he had against the Venezuelan squad in pool play. 5 1/3, 1 hit, no walks, and 3 strikeouts, and now pitching into the 6th inning. And he looks pretty good against a loaded Team USA lineup. That one misses, and now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he looks very good. His percentage of first pitch strikes is phenomenal. And in the days of complete games, you figured, well, a good 9-inning game, 13 pitches an inning, about 117 pitches, you'd find out the next day. And there's that good curveball. McCutchen thought it was outside. Will Little rings him up. Leland's coming out.
Well, that's going to do it for Andrew McCutchen. And I don't know if we caught the shot, but it's usually when a player makes a motion to the umpire. You could see McCutchen say it was that far outside, and it was not long after that Will Little threw out Andrew McCutchen.
And Andrew McCutchen, one of the great gentlemen in the game of baseball, but oh yeah. Well, you know, where Molina caught it is one thing, but we talked about Lugo having the best spin of any major league pitcher with his curveball. And see what Little is saying, it came across the front knee. Oh. Well, that's 2 ejections in 2 games by Will Little. He got Tony Pena the other night. And McCutchen made that mark with how far it was outside. But we talked about the spin on his curveball, and we're going to get a look at 4 or 5 of them, and that's when he's been able to hold down Team USA. Nice late break. McCutchen didn't think so, but Will Little did, and he had the final say.
Well, I think it's safe to report, and thankfully we can. Whenever you have that field microphone, sometimes you pick up things that you don't want to. I didn't hear a magic word from Andrew McCutchen.
I think it was
you said gentlemanly guy.
Yeah, he looked at him and said that far
outside, and then you assume that Will Little said don't do that, and he said that far outside, and then that's when he gave him the heave-ho. So Andrew McCutchen's night is done. Again, Yadier Molina and Will Little were the 2 men essentially behind home plate a few nights ago when Puerto Rico beat the Dominican Republic. And as you noted, Jim, when a catcher like Yadier Molina can sense that he maybe has an inch or 2 off the outside edge, he's going to want 3 or 4 inches. And it's a strike until it's not, I suppose.
And back to Will Little and the reaction from Andrew McCutchen. See, in a different era, players would never even look at the umpire and question him like that. You might walk to the bench with your head down and say, wow, I thought that was outside. But there's just so much interaction now, and umpires just, they don't want to take it. And you saw Will Little with a rather quick hook.
And now Jones high and deep to left. And the San Diego Kid does it again.
Well, they used to call Hall of Famer Paul Molitor the Igniter. That's what Adam Jones has been for Team USA. The game winner against Colombia, the game tire against Venezuela. And now gets this crowd on its feet and the dugout excited by pulling Team USA within one.
Second home run here in San Diego as Yelich swings out of his helmet. 0-2. He has come up with some big hits for Team USA as they continue to claw back, down 4-0 after 1 inning tonight. A run in the second, a run in the fifth, and a run here so far in the sixth.
Pitch inside that he could pull, and he's sprinting around those bases.
The 1-2 to Yelich, swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Good call by Molina, good pitch by Lugo. We've talked about the spin on his curveball and how he's pitched very effectively with an overhand curve, and I'm sure Yelich kind of on guard for that. He threw the fastball right by him.
Well, Lugo didn't register a strikeout through the first 5 innings. He's got 2 here in the sixth as pitching coach Ricky Bonas comes out to talk with Seth Lugo. Adam Jones, this is where he's made his money, as they say. Late in ball games in this WBC, he has been extraordinary from the 6th inning on. Now 5 for 8 with 4 extra base hits. That's 2 home runs, 2 doubles. One to tie it the other night in the 8th inning, and this one to get Team USA to within a run here in the 6th. He mentioned after the game last night, I'm a leader. We've got a lot of leaders in this clubhouse. Everybody's got their own job to do, and he has certainly helped to lead this Team USA team. Still have a little bit of work to do down a run in the 6th, but with how this offense is constructed, 1 run doesn't seem like much. Chance of USA through the ballpark now as Nolan Arenado fouls it off.
Yeah, Ricky Bonas, the pitching coach you mentioned, went out to the mound because Arenado has really had some good swings against Lugo.
Working for Team Puerto Rico.
Alex Claudio, who's property of the Texas Rangers. The lefty.
Oh, the last time Arenado tried to test Correa, he got him. This time he tries Correa and Lindor and still beats it out.
Nice effort by Correa. You see the footwork there. He kind of shortened up his step, tried to field it on a hop. I think if you ask Carlos, he'd say, I should have fielded.
But another hard-hit ball for Arenado.
The glove, and then a nice recovery by Lindor, but not in time to get Arenado.
Well, that's going to do it for Seth Lugo. He leaves after 72 pitches, and he leaves with a 4-3 lead. Now it's up to the Puerto Rico bullpen to protect it. 25-year-old Rogers, pitching in his first WBC, although he's seen some action already, will deal to Hosmer.
Not much history between Hosmer and Claudio. Claudio pitches for the Texans during the Major League season. 3 at-bats, has a hit. And of course, that sidearm action with he can get something from middle of the plate in.
Right side. Nice play at second base. Javi Baez takes away a hit from Hosmer.
Yeah, nice sliding grab, pivots, accurate throw.
Lo irresistible llegó a otro nivel en Wendy's, porque el Baconator con Wood Bacon y carne fresca o el Asiago Ranch
Handbook, but how often do you see it? A guy who makes a great defensive play to end an inning, leading off the next. It's Javier Baez, Eddie Rosario, and T.J. Rivera. 6, 7, and 8 due up Puerto Rico. Now down to a 4-3 lead as Michael Gibbons, who got the last out of the 5th, is back out for the 6th. Baez took away what looked like a sure hit from Eric Hosmer to end things in the 6th inning. Big swing, and now 2 balls and a strike. 24-year-old infielder with the World Series champion Chicago Cubs in his first WBC. Javier Baez is not one to hide the emotion that he plays with. Going back to the other night, he's on the backside of this stolen base, and he's pointing at home plate. He didn't even look at the tag. Forget it. He doesn't even look to see where he's tagging. But it turns out he does everything, apparently, but hit and throw left-handed. And in talking with the GM, Alex Cora, oh, man. Right off the hand.
Yeah, Michael Gibbons is saying to Will Little, didn't it hit his bat? He thought it hit the knob of the bat.
This will show us.
It did.
It looked like it brushed the wristband and hit the knob of the bat. But just to finish that point, talking with the GM Alex Cora before the game, he said he does everything left-handed, really. So he's so coordinated that he was able to apply the tag without looking. One more look at the hit by pitch. Eddie Rosario squares to bunt, but takes a look at ball 1.
Now, they might have stole one there, Team Puerto Rico. That looked like it hit the knob of the bat.
Nevertheless, Baez off of first. Oh, Hosmer able to corral that one. Weapon Andrew Miller begins to loosen. Drawbacks of being a left-handed throwing first baseman, I suppose. Again, Rosario thinks about bunting and again takes a ball. Team Puerto Rico has run themselves into a couple of outs in this game, Jim. You noted that before. They had that 4-0 lead. It looked like they were cruising. It's now 4-3 in the 6th. You never know how things are going to turn out. Runner go, throw to second, in, not in time.
Yeah, no chance for Buster Posey on that one. Clearly, as is the case with most stolen bases off the pitcher. As soon as Michael Gibbons lifted his leg, Baez is gone. Pitch is high. And not only a stolen base, but now a 3-0 count. And I think Jim Lee, yeah, he's going to Andrew Miller right away.
He's going to Andrew Miller with a 3-0 count, perhaps. Isn't that something?
I think he's just kind of gambling that he could get a couple pitches over, keep Rosario from pulling the ball.
Well, just for bookkeeping, that walk is credited to Michael Gibbons. Since
now
Miller entered with a 3-0 count.
Yeah, now the corners Arenado and Hosmer, they've talked over how they're going to defense this because they're going to anticipate a bunt. Of course, the hitter in the on-deck circle is a left-hand hitter, so Edwin Rodriguez might say, I don't want to give up this right-hand bat. Hosmer in on the grass.
Creeping even further in as T.J. Rivera fouls that one off.
Yeah, and Andrew Miller would be one of the tougher pitchers to buck with that kind of funky motion, elbows coming at you, ball upstairs, most difficult pitch to buck. He's got a big hole open between Crawford and Arenado. Any kind of a little ground ball's going right into left field.
Square. Did he go? He did. And now 0-2. Well, Fuentes is the scheduled hitter next, but Kike Hernandez has actually moved into the on-deck circle right now. So Edwin Rodriguez may be making some changes to keep away from that lefty-lefty matchup as Miller stares in for the pitch on 0-2 and a called strike 3.
Rough outing against the Dominican, but here's the Andrew Miller slider. Backdoor. You see Andrew go down to his knees because Will Little was a little delayed call. It was like, hey, I got to get that for a strike. And he did get the called strike. Quick word about Kike Hernandez, who Buster Posey knows from the Dodgers action. See, that is what the pitchers would call a backdoor breaking ball. It started outside, came in over the outside part of the plate, and that's how Andrew Miller was so effective last year for the Yankees and then the Indians.
So it is Kike Hernandez, and this is a matchup thing. He has last year a .841 on base plus slugging, or excuse me, in his career .841 against lefties. Although Andrew Miller is not most lefties, at least he wasn't last year.
Right.
On and 1 out in the 6th. The runner on at second base is Javier Baez. He was hit by a pitch and stole second. Eddie Rosario, who had a 3-0 count from Michael Gibbons before the pitching change. Andrew Miller delivered ball 4. He is over there at first. Now a 1-0 to Hernandez. Runners go. Throw to third. Nice job by Arenado to keep that one going from down the line. But 2 more stolen bases.
Yeah, good call by Edwin Rodriguez. 6'7", Andrew Miller, big motion. Easy to steal. Runner's got a quick jump. Very little chance for Posey, like you mentioned. Arenado made a great play just to keep that ball from going into left field. Now it's going to force Team USA to bring the infield in. That's 5 stolen bases tonight for Team Puerto Rico. They had just 3 in this tournament coming in. And a little more pressure on Buster Posey. Miller with that sharp breaking slider. Buster's job to try to block it.
Kike Hernandez trying to drive home and at least one more run here. A base hit could bring home a couple. They have been very successful with the stolen base in this WBC. 25-year-old utility player for the Los Angeles Dodgers, hoping to propel Puerto Rico to his home yard next week. A called strike 2. Hernandez drafted in the 6th round by the Astros in 2009. Appeared in a career-high 109 games last year for LA, and he can do a little bit of everything. Major league experience at second, at third, short, all 3 outfield positions, but right now, do at the plate. 2 balls, 2 2 strikes.
Fouled off a couple tough ones. And you know that Andrew Miller would love to throw that slider down in the dirt, get him to change it. And he's got one of the best back there to, or get him to chase it. He's got one of the best back there to block it.
Baez at third, Rosario at second. Again, a 2-2. A called strike 3.
There's always some question on that pitch by the hitter. Did it break around the plate? It's the same pitch that was as Andrew McCutcheon got a ejection for questioning Will Little's strike. I think Team USA got a break on that one. Buster Posey caught it over the plate, but it looked like it broke around the plate. That is the tough thing for an umpire to call, that sharp sweeping slider from Miller.
And now Angel Pagan, who started that 6 straight singles in the first inning. Oh, Arenado plays the hop, throws to first, but it gets by Hosmer, and 2 runs are going to score. Oh, that took a wicked hop on Arenado. He stayed with it, but in the dirt to first, and Hosmer unable to dig it out. It's now 6-3 Puerto Rico.
Great play and a bad throw. After the hop, in Hosmer, it skidded on him. Hosmer tried to block it. So after the great pick, the errant throw now gives Puerto Rico a 3-run lead.
E5, no RBIs on the play, but that's just bookkeeping. It's now 6-3. A 4-time Gold Glove winner. The glove was not the issue. It's a terrific play on his side. And if that takes more of a true hop to Hosmer, so sure-handed at first base, he's probably digging that one out, but it just stayed down and went by Hosmer at first.
There's the high hop with a great reaction, and I think that kept him from getting the nice smooth footwork. He had plenty of time. Came out about 3/4, and watch right there, it skids. See, I think Hosmer's looking for more of a true.
And now Lindor serves one out to right field. Back is Stanton, as that one carried almost to the track. Stanton puts it away for out number 3.
Esta entrada es traída
This one will test Hernandez. Can of corn, 1 out.
Yeah, and the 2-run error and now the 3-run lead changes the whole pitching strategy, too. I would say with a 1-run lead, you wouldn't see Alex Claudio facing Buster Posey. And by leaving him in the game, now he forces Jim Leland to go to his bench and bring up some of his right-hand pinch hitters, Goldschmidt to hit for Murphy. So it allows Edwin Rodriguez to manage his bullpen a little differently as well. The 3-run lead instead of the 1-run lead.
Be a pinch hitter for Daniel Murphy as Paul Goldschmidt, first baseman of the Arizona Diamondbacks, steps in. Takes low for ball 1. So Murphy's night is done after grounding into a double play and grounding to third. Goldschmidt has been the face of the Arizona Diamondbacks franchise the last few years. 29 years old, first WBC. He's made 4 straight All-Star teams, and he is strong as an ox. My goodness, can he hit the ball a country mile. Joe Colon loosening in Puerto Rico's bullpen.
Edwin Rodriguez has received great pitching out of that bullpen. You saw Colon, then he's got Joe Jimenez, and of course Edwin Diaz, one of the best in the major leagues, to close it out. as he did against the Dominican.
Now the 1-2, sticks his bat out and sends it. That's the kind of power he's got. I mean, he just flicked it out there, and in this thick San Diego air, sends it to the track in right, allowed out number 2.
Yeah, just almost a defensive swing with 2 strikes. Still got it out there to the track.
David Robertson loosens for Team USA. Brandon Crawford 0 for 2. Ground out in the 2nd. Popped out in the 5th. Cruel game, this baseball, as Arenado charged with an error in the bottom of the 6th inning. But the thing is, it goes down as an E5. The only problem is he made such a great play just to keep that ball from bouncing over his head when it hit the lip of the grass. 13 errors last year for Arenado. 8 fielding and 5 throwing. That's baseball. And 0-2 to the San Francisco Giants shortstop. These teams, USA and Puerto Rico, winning their openers here in San Diego. Puerto Rico still hasn't lost a game in this WBC. Edwin Rodriguez, Ricky Bonas on the left. Jim Leland for Team USA. Crucial game tonight. Again, Puerto Rico made it all the way to the title game in 2013. They lost to the eventual champ and the undefeated Dominican Republic. First time in the 3 WBCs that a team went undefeated en route to a title. And now Brandon Crawford draws the walk.
Yeah, good at bat by Crawford. Fell behind, wouldn't chase any of those low pitches. See what Edwin Rodriguez chooses to do now. Got a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. There again is the advantage of having that 3-run lead instead of a 1-run lead. Very animated Jose Valentin. He's the one moves the outfielders around.
Close at first, but Crawford is back. Yeah, I think Puerto Rico might lead the WBC in gyrations. Like, they are an active bunch. They are bouncing around, whether it's the players or the coaching staff. They are having a lot of fun out here in the WBC, and for good reason. They have looked like a juggernaut for sure.
Here comes team picture on the mound. Yachty hasn't made a trip out there for a while, but now he's going out to talk to Claudio, because suddenly 3-run lead. Crawford draws a walk. 2-0 or 1-0 to Harrison, and the new leadoff hitter for Team USA is Giancarlo Stanton.
Stanton waits on deck. Again, a replacement for Andrew McCutchen, who was thrown out in the 6th inning after being called out on strikes. Harrison would like to keep the line moving and get it to the slugger. 29-year-old second baseman of the Pirates in his first WBC. He actually replaced first baseman Matt Carpenter on this roster. One of 5 everyday Pirates playing in the WBC. breakout campaign in 2014, signed a 4-year, $27.3 million contract with the Buccos after that season. Waiting for a 2-1 rather. Chop to third. Correa, the short way for out number 3. His first at bat here in the second round as he's in and taking the place of Andrew McCutchen, who was thrown out after arguing balls and strikes after a strikeout in the 6th. First pitch from Joe Colon is in there for a called strike. 27-year-old reliever in the Cleveland Indians organization. 2 1/3 innings under his belt so far in this, his first WBC. Inside on Stanton, 1-1.
I'll tell you, for just a brief time in the big leagues, he got a lot of action. Pitched for the Indians last year in just 10 innings, but his record is 1-3. That's a lot of decisions in 10 innings, and unfortunately for the Indians in Cologne, he gave up a lot of runs in those 10 innings. That's a good breaking ball right there to Stanton.
Stanton, the 27-year-old right fielder of the Miami Marlins, 4 for 17 in the 2013 WBC. Won the 2016 Home Run Derby here at Petco Park. He did not go, and the count runs full 3-2.
Any sign of trouble here in the 8th, Edwin Rodriguez, you could almost sense his thinking. Edwin Diaz, one of the best in the major leagues, is already warming up in the 8th inning.
A called strike 3.
Well, that outside corner's been a very favorable zone for the pitchers. Cologne tacked it right there. Watch Molina's glove. You know, again, they would say, well, that ball's low if you look where he caught it, but the side angle will tell you that ball did come across the knees. Will Little's had a couple of tough ones like that to call. See, it came across the front knee, so technically that's, of course, there's a lot of discussion about raising the strike zone, so that pitch wouldn't be a strike.
And now Adam Jones takes inside, a ball and no strikes. Jones 1 for 3 tonight, but that one was a home run. 6 for 21 with a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. Also in the first round, pool play, had a walk-off hit for Team USA.
Again, back to Edwin Rodriguez thinking, getting Diaz up this early. He's sensing, if I can put this game away, basically I have 2 days off. Game tomorrow will mean nothing against Venezuela. And they have Sunday off before going to Los Angeles. So any sign of trouble, I think you'll see him in here.
To Jones. Jones, line, center field, moving over and making the catch is Kike Hernandez, 2 away in the 8th.
Big outs by Joe Colon, because every one of those outs saves him from using Edwin Diaz.
Team USA has had its issues with the strike zone tonight. And Andrew McCutchen's already been ejected from this game. Now it's Christian Yelich.
Oh, we know one thing. Will Little's a low ball umpire. And I say that because pitchers, we used to scout the umpires before the electronics came into the game, and you knew, hey, this this guy will give you the low pitch. This guy won't call the low pitch, but he'll give you the high pitch. He'll give you strikes early. He won't call strike 3. Those are the kinds of things that pitchers have filed away.
Again, what's at stake tonight? If Puerto Rico can hold on for this victory, they win. They eliminate Venezuela, and they win the pool. And they win the pool because Puerto Rico would be 2-0 here in San Diego. Team USA and the Dominican Republic will play tomorrow. And again, this is assuming Puerto Rico wins this game. So then tomorrow it's 2 1-1 teams in USA and Dominican going head-to-head. So the best that those two teams could do is be 2-1. Let's just say Puerto Rico loses tomorrow. They're 2-1. They win. Puerto Rico wins the pool. Whoa. Puerto Rico wins the pool based on the fact that they will have beaten USA and the Dominican Republic. So that's how the head-to-head matchup plays into this. But right now they just need to get 4 more defensive outs before allowing 3 runs. And I would venture to guess, Team USA has mounted late-inning rallies before, so I hesitate to even say this, but I would venture to guess that if the score holds, tomorrow's crowd is going to be electric. Still some unfinished business here. 6-3 going to the bottom of the 8th. Pops this one straight up. Buster Posey locates it and puts it away for out number 1. Baez, Eddie Rosario, and TJ Rivera due up for Team Puerto Rico, who holds a 6-0 lead as Nate Jones is on to work, the 5th pitcher of the night for Team USA. 31-year-old reliever with the Chicago White Sox, pitching in his 4th game in this World Baseball Classic.
You look at Nate Jones' delivery, it would give you the impression that maybe he was a catcher. It's very unusual, but effective, the way he gets the ball out of the throwing position. I don't know any other pitcher that has quite an unusual delivery as Nate Jones. He almost lifts his arm up. Outstanding slider. Did a great job. You saw David Robertson pitch the last inning, and actually it was Nate Jones who did a good job for the White Sox pitching the 8th inning to hold the lead for them.
Well, while it may look a little unconventional, that delivery and that motion for Jones, he's like that.
Yeah.
Says it feels natural for him.
Well, every pitcher's motion is his fingerprint. Sometimes today you see so many pitchers look like cookie cutters, and that's an advantage to the hitter.
Rolls over 1 to second. Harrison, 2 away.
Arm never goes, seems like it doesn't go below the waist. Watch it up, right up in the air, which is good. Get it in that throwing position. Much better chance of keeping your hand on top of the ball. And, of course, I think that's one of the reasons he has that good, sharp breaking slider. 71 games last year.
Yeah. Just 21 combined in 14 and 15 because of a couple of different injuries, but effective with that pitch right there. That slider has been really his bread and butter. As TJ Rivera is down on the count 0-1. Batters are just 10 for a 103 against that slider in 2016.
Now looking ahead to USA 9th inning, Eddie Diaz will have to earn it because he's going to be looking at Arenado, Hosmer, Buster Posey, 3 of the better major league hitters.
One and 2. Boy, that thing just keeps on moving away from the righty.
Well, the advantage with that motion is, hitters use the pitcher's motion to kind of start their action. So when the pitcher has a kind of a deliberate motion, they get to load up and get comfortable. You can't do that against Jones. See how late they are. They're not quite. That's the advantage of having an unusual motion. See, he's never quite ready. That ball's past him before he even gets the barrel close to the hitting zone.
And now the 1-2. Another defensive swing, and once again he stays alive.
Yeah, the dugout, they call those the 9-1-1 swings. Just got the end of the bat on it.
They don't let him play it anymore, but it's just like Pepper. It's that old game of Pepper.
Well, hitters should play that Pepper. For fans not familiar with that term, you get 4 or 5 guys out in front of you and just hit these little 20, 30-foot taps like you're bunting the ball. Great hand-eye coordination. Batting champions have done that for years.
Off the end of the bat. And short hop by Harrison, but he makes the play to first nonetheless. First at bat here in the second round as he's in and taking the place of Andrew McCutchen, who was thrown out after arguing balls and strikes after a strikeout in the 6th. First pitch from Joe Colon is in there for a called strike. 27-year-old reliever in the Cleveland Indians organization. 2 1/3 innings under his belt so far in this, his first WBC. Inside on Stanton, 1-1.
I'll tell you, for just a brief time in the big leagues, he got a lot of action. Pitched for the Indians last year in just 10 innings, but his record is 1-3. That's a lot of decisions in 10 innings, and unfortunately for the Indians in Cologne, he gave up a lot of runs in those 10 innings. That's a good breaking ball right there to Stanton.
Stanton, the 27-year-old right fielder of the Miami Marlins, 4 for 17 in the 2013 WBC. Won the 2016 Home Run Derby here at Petco Park. He did not go, and the count runs full 3-2.
Any sign of trouble here in the 8th, Edwin Rodriguez, you could almost sense his thinking. Edwin Diaz, one of the best in the major leagues, is already warming up in the 8th inning.
Called strike 3.
Well, that outside corner's been a very favorable zone for the pitchers. Cologne tacked it right there. Watch Molina's glove. You know, again, they would say, well, that ball's low if you look where he caught it, but the side angle will tell you that ball did come across the knees. Will Little's had a couple of tough ones like that to call. See, it came across the front knee, so technically that's, of course, there's a lot of discussion about raising the strike zone, so that pitch wouldn't be a strike.
And now Adam Jones takes inside, a ball and no strikes. Jones 1 for 3 tonight, but that one was a home run. 6 for 21 with a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. Also in the first round, pool play, had a walk-off hit for Team USA.
Again, back to Edwin Rodriguez thinking, getting Diaz up this early. He's sensing, if I can put this game away, basically I have 2 days off. Game tomorrow will mean nothing against Venezuela. And they have Sunday off before going to Los Angeles. So any sign of trouble, I think you'll see him in here.
To Jones. 2-2. Jones, line, center field. Moving over and making the catch is Kike Hernandez. 2 away in the 8th.
Big outs by Joe Colon, because every one of those outs saves him from using Edwin Diaz.
Team USA has had its issues with the strike zone tonight. And Andrew McCutcheon's already been ejected from this game. Now it's Christian Yelich.
Oh, we know one thing. Will Little's a low ball umpire. And I say that because pitchers, we used to scout the umpires before the electronics came into the game, and you knew, hey, this guy will give you the low pitch. This guy won't call the low pitch, but he'll give you the high pitch. He'll give you strikes early. He won't call strike 3. Those are the kinds of things that pitchers have filed away.
Again, what's at stake tonight? If Puerto Rico can hold on for this victory, they win, they eliminate Venezuela, and they win the pool. And they win the pool because Puerto Rico would be 2-0 here in San Diego. Team USA and the Dominican Republic would play tomorrow. And again, this is assuming Puerto Rico wins this game. So then tomorrow it's 2 1-1 teams in USA and Dominican going head-to-head. So the best that those two teams could do is be 2-1. Let's just say Puerto Rico loses tomorrow. They're 2-1. They win. Puerto Rico wins the pool. Whoa. Puerto Rico wins the pool based on the fact that they will have beaten USA and the Dominican Republic. So that's how the head-to-head matchup plays into this. But right now they just need to get 4 more defensive outs before allowing 3 runs. Venture to guess. Team USA has mounted late inning rallies before, so I hesitate to even say this, but I would venture to guess that if the score holds, tomorrow's crowd is going to be electric. Still some unfinished business here. 6-3 going to the bottom of the 8th. Pops this one straight up. Buster Posey locates it and puts it away for out number 1. Baez, Eddie Rosario, and TJ Rivera due up for Team Puerto Rico, who holds a 6-0 lead. As Nate Jones is on to work, the 5th pitcher of the night for Team USA. 31-year-old reliever with the Chicago White Sox, pitching in his 4th game in this World Baseball Classic.
You look at Nate Jones' delivery, it would give you the impression that maybe he was a catcher. It's very unusual, but effective, the way he gets the ball out of the throwing position. I don't know any other pitcher that has quite an unusual delivery as Nate Jones. He almost lifts his arm up. Outstanding slider. Did a great job. You saw David Robertson pitch the last inning, and actually it was Nate Jones who did a good job for the White Sox, pitching the 8th inning to hold the lead for them.
Well, while it may look a little unconventional, that delivery and that motion for Jones, he's like that.
Yeah.
Says it feels natural for him.
Well, every pitcher's motion is his fingerprint. Sometimes today you see so many pitchers look like cookie cutters, and that's an advantage to the hitter.
Rolls over 1 to second. Harrison, 2 away.
Arm never goes, seems like it doesn't go below the waist. Watch it up, right up in the air, which is good. Get it in that throwing position. Much better chance of keeping your hand on top of the ball. And, of course, I think that's one of the reasons he has a good, sharp breaking slider. 71 games last year.
Yeah. Just 21 combined in 14 and 15 because of a couple of different injuries, but effective with that pitch right there. That slider has been really his bread and butter. As TJ Rivera is down on the count 0-1. Batters are just 10 for a 103 against that slider in 2016.
Looking ahead to USA ninth inning, Eddie Diaz will have to earn it because he's going to be looking at Arenado, Hosmer, Buster Posey, three of the better major league hitters.
One and two. Boy, that thing just keeps on moving away from the righty.
Well, the advantage with that motion is, hitters use the pitcher's motion to kind of start their action. So when the pitcher has a kind of a deliberate motion, they get to load up and get comfortable. You can't do that against Jones. See how late they are. They're not quite. That's the advantage of having an unusual motion. See, he's never quite ready. That ball's past him before he even gets the barrel close to the hitting zone.
Now the 1-2. Another defensive swing, and once again he stays alive.
Yeah, the dugout, they call those the 9-1-1 swings. Just got the end of the bat on it.
They don't let him play it anymore, but it's just like Pepper. It's that old game of Pepper.
Well, hitters should play that. Pepper, for fans not familiar with that term, you get 4 or 5 guys out in front of you and just hit these little 20, 30-foot taps like you're bunting the ball. Great hand-eye coordination. Batting champions have done that for years.
Off the end of the bat. And short hop by Harrison, but he makes the play to first nonetheless. Two-year-old closer for the Seattle Mariners to be 23 by opening day is outside to the Rockies. Could have had a fourth and then singled in the sixth. He has hit the ball hard in nearly every at-bat. He hasn't had many hits to show for it throughout this WBC. After Arenado, Eric Hosmer and Buster Posey. Last chance for Team USA. Team USA hoping for a little luck of the Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Edwin Diaz didn't come up till June of last year and made quite an impression. 18 saves. Averages per 9 innings, 15 strikeouts. Almost an unhittable slider. Control could be a little issue. 3-1 right here. Good proof you don't have to be 6'5", 240 to throw a 5 1/4 ounce baseball 60 feet. He's only 160 pounds.
A leadoff walk to Arenado. Well,
might be a little overamped. Those pitches to Arenado certainly look like it.
we mentioned it in the open. This is our 4th game here in San Diego, and in the first 3, the tying run has come to the plate in each of those games. So wouldn't it be fitting if somehow Team USA brings the tying run up here in the 9th? Eric Hosmer takes a look at strike 1. He had an RBI single in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th and the 6th. But it was a great play by Javier Baez to end that 6th inning. Ranging to his left, taking away a hit from Hosmer. Told you what's at stake for Team Puerto Rico. For Team USA, first they've got to come back and win this game and win tomorrow night. Or, in an effort to get to Los Angeles, the score holds, they lose this game, they've got to beat the Dominican Republic tomorrow.
Yeah, from a fan standpoint, the USA loses tonight. It sets up a real dramatic meeting at 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah. And they build in a tiebreaker day on Sunday, but Hosmer, base hit through the right side. And the tying run will come to the plate with nobody out in the 9th. tiebreaker game on Sunday, but the way that it's scheduled, tomorrow could be the tiebreaker.
Slider, middle of the plate. Hosmer got a good look at it. Yeah, there's no bottom third of the order here to work over for Edwin Diaz. You're looking at Buster Posey and then Goldschmidt in the on-deck circle.
Posey has already made his presence felt in this game. Back in the 5th. A home run to left center field. And if he's got another one of those, this place will be rocking and this game will be tied. But right now, what do you make of that? I've heard a lot of people say a home run's a rally killer, although a home run in this case might tie the game.
Well, I think Jim Leyland would be very happy with home runs.
Take it now.
If you have a big lead and teams are getting singles, and all of a sudden a home run clears the bases and you're still ahead by 3, you say, then the line has stopped. That's not the situation right here.
No, one swing could even things up. Jimenez and Romero loosening for Team Puerto Rico. Jim Leyland looks on. He said, no matter how I draw up my lineup, I like our players, and we should be able to win with whoever I put out there. But he's got one of the more decorated big leaguers that's playing today at the plate. He takes a called strike. Arenado led off this inning. He worked the walk. Eric Hosmer singled through the right side. First and second. Nobody out in the 9th. Quickly 0-2. Lots of opportunities for Puerto Rico. Not so many for Team USA. They need to make this one count.
Late movement. Just outside.
On hand, and loud USA chant goes through Petco Park. The 1-2. Just upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the power thread of Paul Goldschmidt waits on deck.
Exhale by Diaz and Yadier Molina. Buster Posey all over that pitch.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Puerto Rico put 4 runs on the board in the first inning. They were 6 for their first 6. They're 2 for their last 25. But right now, it's their defense that has got to hold Team USA. 2 on and a payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Buster Posey had a couple of good swings, but this is Diaz calling card. Sharp breaking slider. That had a great down break to it. Major leagues, they hit a 141 against that Diaz slider. So not many hit it.
Doesn't get any easier for Diaz. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Strike 1. After that first inning, a 4-run lead for Puerto Rico. U.S. put 1 on the board in the second. Runs in the 5th and 6th made it 4-3. Big 2-run error made it 6-3 in the bottom of the 6th. And that one will go to the backstop, and the runners will advance, and perhaps more importantly for Team USA,
interesting to see what Edwin Rodriguez does should Diaz retire. Goldschmidt, good live fastball there. Brandon Crawford, left-hand hitter on deck. He has a lefty warming up in the bullpen. Jim Leyland has a right-hand bat, a couple right-hand bats on the bench.
Back-to-back strikeouts. And Puerto Rico is 1 out away from punching its ticket to L.A.
Well, you think slider, that looked fastball. Had a little movement down and in. Another good pitch by Diaz.
And now Brandon Crawford. And we talk so much about the familiarity with all the major leaguers in this pool. But with Diaz pitching in the American League West, Buster Posey in the NL West hasn't had a good look at him. Paul Goldschmidt in the NL West, not a good look at him. And now Brandon Crawford. Ever seen Edwin Diaz? Is a youngster to begin with, but no matchups in major league games prior to this WBC. It's up to Brandon Crawford. Puerto Rico win, and they are off to Los Angeles as the pool winner. Still have to play tomorrow afternoon against Venezuela. But if Puerto Rico holds on, Team USA and the Dominican Republic in a de facto tiebreaker game tomorrow night to fill out that last spot in the championship round. All one. Second. 2-0. To Crawford. In the air, left center field, hit well. And it gets down. That'll score 2. Crawford into second. Turning toward third. The relay throw. Safe.
What a gamble by Brandon Crawford. First, sharply to left center field. That's going to score 2 easily. But played well. Now he juggles it just a little bit. Here's the strong throw. Played well on the cutoff throw, and Correa thought they may have had him.
Now Josh Harrison with the tying run 90 feet away. And while it was a close play at third, it bears repeating. There is no instant replay on the bases in the first and second round of the WBC. And if there was, this game would be over.
Yeah, that was it was bobbled by the outfielders, but that was some laser throw by Lindor.
Told us he loves Brandon Crawford. And if Brandon Crawford didn't get enough attention, he certainly should. Huge hit. But now Team USA down to their last strike. Puerto Rico a strike away from heading to Los Angeles as the pool winner, the 1-2. strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Puerto Rico is going to Los Angeles.
Dicey for Edwin Diaz, but he made the big pitch when he needed to. It wasn't his best slider, but good enough to strike out Josh Harrison, and the celebration starts.
He ends up striking out the side in the 9th inning. But it went walk, single, strikeout, strikeout, 2-run triple off the bat of Brandon Crawford, and then the strikeout of Josh Harrison. And Puerto Rico remains perfect in this WBC. So much emotion on both sides. Puerto Rico wins this one 6-5. They've got a game tomorrow, a quick turnaround in fact, but they know they are going back to the championship round of the WBC.
Yeah, again, we saw that tie and run come to the plate. Everything goes down to the last out, but Edwin Rodriguez, a lot of faith in Edwin Diaz, and now by getting through this game, he can rest his whole team tomorrow, his pitching staff, and look ahead to Monday night against the Netherlands in Los Angeles.
What a night here in San Diego, and what a day it will be tomorrow. Puerto Rico, knowing that they're on their way to LA, the United States and the Dominican Republic. The schedule just worked out that way. The U.S. and the Dominican. One game, one team will go to Los Angeles and join Puerto Rico, Japan, and the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Danny Duffy for the USA, Irvin Santana for the Dominican Republic. A doubleheader tomorrow. Wrap things up here in round 2 in San Diego. Join us at 12:30 Pacific time for the action. Venezuela and Puerto Rico, and then the U.S. and DR tomorrow night. For Jim Cotton, our entire crew, I'm Paul Severino saying thanks so much for joining us from San Diego. We'll see you tomorrow at Petco Park.